This is Hino's Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. All right, part 23. This is dedicated to the ESJ haters. Listen, man. Hear me and hear me well. Listen, ESJ haters. Y'all see Errol the True Spence training in what? 96 degrees weather. He's hot. He's bothered. And y'all saw him without his shirt on. Come on, man. Who is confident enough to do that at this stage? We see Shawn Constipated Porter with his shirt on. Errol the True Spence got his shirt off. Who was with Errol the True Spence? Marvelous Jarvis. Now that motherfucker be with some thick ass motherfuckers, man. I gotta say that though. That motherfucker be with some thick ass motherfuckers on his videos, man. Damn, there's this one called Marie. Ooh, woo! Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Y'all gotta watch his damn videos. Y'all know what I'm talking about. He be with some thighs, dog. But anyways, let's get back to the video. I had to say that real quick. Let's get right back. Errol the True Spence is in shape already. This man is walking around anywhere between 160 to 170 pounds, folks. Rounded off by 165. What's his fight night weight? Anywhere between 160 to 162. He's already basically 3 to 5 pounds removed from his fight night weight. Y'all didn't hear that. Hear me and hear me again. Errol the True Spence is anywhere between 3 to 5 pounds of his fight night weight, folks. You guys saw this man. This nonsense. This ultra fanboy rhetoric of him being fat, right? Being a weight bully. But look at the man. Lean. When I tried to tell you guys, this man looks completely different. He didn't look like he did last year. See, this is what I like about Errol the True Spence. He reminds me of Deontay Wilder in that regard. When he says something, he means it. Let me say that again. When he says something, he means it. He told you guys he would never blow himself up to that level because he understands he's chasing greatness. Let me say it again. He's chasing greatness, so he knows he has to discipline himself. This man sits here and keeps himself closer to his fight weight. Because one thing that was prevalent in the Mikey Garcia fight, even though he didn't do strength and conditioning, if I have to give one critique, was the fact that he did kind of look, you know what I'm saying, not as girthy as he should in that fight. And the reason why is because he went so high up and then he had to come so low. He's not doing that anymore. Now, Errol the True Spence is a big boy and he likes to eat. You know what I'm saying? He has that genetics where he has to put food in his body. I get it. I understand it. But here's the thing. This man is peaking at the right time. That's the difference between the right peak of what he's doing versus the wrong peak. When you at 165, remember, that's 18 pounds away from 147. Whereas Shawn Constipated Porter has been overtraining since April 27 and he's already at 156. Y'all got to do the math here. There's a reason why Shawn Constipated Porter is overtraining. You know what it is? Let me explain to you guys. Shawn Constipated Porter can no longer make 147. So he has to prepare and open his training camp way in advance. This is not the first fight that he's done this. I talked about this in my live stream earlier. Shawn Constipated Porter has been doing this for all of his fights. Even the Udenis Ugas fight, which is sad because he didn't even make weight for that fight. This man was training 3 or 4 months before and he still barely missed weight. So is he a weight bully? See, I don't even call him that. What's clear is the fact that he's no longer fit for 147. But you know why his dad can't move him up to 154? Because he's too short. Could you imagine him fighting Tony Harrison? Could you imagine him fighting Jermell Charlo? Could you imagine him fighting Jarrett Hurd? Put that in you guys' mind. Could you imagine him fighting, you know what I'm saying, J-Rock? How do you think that's going to happen? Jermell Charlo. What do you think is going to be the consequence of that fight? His dad knows that he's significantly at a disadvantage. These guys that fight at 154, they're basically at 5'10 and above. Let me say it again. They're at 5'10 and above in height. That's why Errol the True Spence is unique, because Errol the True Spence is 5'9 and a half, almost 5'10. So he can fight at those weights. He's at that perfect boxing height. Listen, man. Shawn Porter's at a disadvantage. His advantage is supposed to be his fast feet, right? And his other advantage is supposed to be, besides his fast feet, his ability to smother. Well, guess what? Errol the True Spence is a pressure fighter. That's why you hear me say tactical aggression versus tactical aggression versus ineffective aggression. He's an aggression pressure style fighter. Remember, it's called the tactical aggression, the technical punching placement, and the body snatching work, the levying onslaught of the punishment style. Because I keeps the foot on the what? On the necks. I keeps the foot on the what? On the necks. In this case, of the Shawn Constipated Porter fanboys. What they don't get is Shawn Porter, his advantage is no longer a advantage. Let me say it again. His advantage is no longer a advantage. He has no advantage. I just feel sorry for him, man. You know, and I know that he's probably watching my 100-part series. That's the sad part about it. Because I know Kenny Porter and Shawn Porter. They watch any and every little thing to give them motivation. But my 100-part series ain't going to give you motivation. Because Errol the True Spence is leagues and shoulders above Shawn Constipated Porter. There's nothing you can do in the boxing ring to stand the likes of Errol the True Spence. You're going to get beat up, man. And the sad part about it is, if Shawn Constipated Porter tries to box, he's getting punished. If he tries to bang, he's getting bulldozed. Let me say that again. If he tries to box, he's getting punished. If he tries to bang, he's getting bulldozed. So where does that leave him at? Going toe-to-toe in the middle of the ring? Please. Errol the True Spence is going to put that blind jab right in front of your face, and he's going to punch in between and around your guard. Let me say that again. He's going to punch in between and around your guard. He's going to systematically break you down. It's going to be basically a body working and a head hunting assault. Low, up, top, low. Low, up, top, low. That's how it's going to be, man. And it's going to be a consistent machine of breaking you down systematically. What we're going to see is basically Shawn Porter give up in the boxing ring. This is how the KO is going to happen. It's not going to happen by him getting completely knocked out. It's going to happen like Kell Brook, but a more glorified version of it. He's just going to give up. His body is going to give up. His mind is going to tell him, I can keep going. I can keep going. Anything you can do, I can do better. But his body's going to be like, oh, fuck. Nah, fuck this shit. I quit. That's what's going to happen come September 28th. His body's going to force him to quit. That's what happened with Kell Brook. Kell Brook was still ready to go. Even after he was like, yeah, I'm ready. But his body forced him to get on one knee. If you guys ever watch Fist of the North Star, man, check out when Kenshiro fought Raul. Go look at their second fight. The second time they fought. I'm not talking about when they fought the first time, when Raul was on the horse, right? And he got off the horse to go and fight Kenshiro. By the way, Kenshiro took his horse after the fact, because the horse is basically representative of the WBC champion. There's a reason why I'm putting this simile together. If you're old enough to know about the Fist of the North Star, it's the anime that was basically the anime that set it up for Dragon Ball. You know what I'm saying? Because it was right before Dragon Ball. Y'all need to check that out. I done told y'all. You know what I'm saying? When you look at Kenshiro and you look at Raul, in that fight, Raul was overwhelmed in the second fight with Kenshiro. He realized at that point, damn, this dude's skill set is overwhelmingly better than mine. And you know what his body did? His body forced him to quit. He was like, oh, Raul, I've never had, the last time that I had fear in my body was when I fought this big old giant. He made me shake. But Kenshiro, is this fear that I'm facing? And what happened? His body went to the quiver. His mind was like, nah, we gonna run this. We're gonna run this. But his body wilted. And you know what happened? His knee fell. That's what's going to happen, man. Errol the True Spence tells your body to be afraid before your mind can get to it. Man, it's sad that it happens to fighters like that. But the punishment that they take, the body's beaten in so much submission that it has to crumble. You guys don't understand that, man. This is why I say he has a pneumonia, dog. And he's basically topping off and busting up these frost giants, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the mighty blow of the pneumonia is busting these frost giants up, man. That's what's going to happen with Shawn Constipated Porter. He's going to get bust up, man. He's going to have to crumble under that pressure. So that's why come September 28th, you're going to get an overtrained Shawn Constipated Porter, which is his fault for him and his dad acknowledging that maybe they are at the wrong weight class, or maybe the fact that, they needed to retire. But that's not Errol the Truth Spence's fault, because I don't want to hear no excuses. Because trust and believe, when Shawn Constipated Porter gets beat up, there's going to be excuses. You know how I know this? They made an excuse in the Kell Brook fight. They said, oh, Kell Brook was holding. Kell Brook was this and that. They made the excuse in the Keith Thurman fight. Oh, Keith Thurman, they robbed us, man. Keith Thurman, Shawn Porter outworked him. They made the excuse in the Danny Garcia fight. Oh, no, Shawn Porter outworked Danny Garcia. They made the excuse in the Dennis fight. I don't know what fight you guys were watching, but Shawn Porter landed more shots. There's always going to be excuse with the Porters, because that's what they do best. That's what they're known for. Even though Errol the Truth Spence is going to beat his body into submission convincingly, they're going to find a way to say that this is the reason why Porter was not prepared, because he overtrained. Remember, he knows his sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. He knows his sport, that's keeping the foot on the what? On the necks. Remember, I was the first one to tell you, that excuse is coming. Beaten into submission or not, Shawn Constipated Porter will have an excuse prepared. And you know what's going to happen? The pink slip's going to be rendered, and his ass is going to retire after that fight. This is He Knows His Sport. Check it out.